Today we're going to be going through my Seiju Elm. And then I've also got a standard Chinese elm as the second part of the video. So quite a basic one, this one. I bought this for £15, I believe, on eBay. Wasn't actually sure what I was going to get, to be honest. There is, or was, some inverse taper. So I've already cut this once and tried to take a couple of cuttings off it, but none of them actually worked. None of them survived, unfortunately. But obviously anything I cut off this one, again, I'll be trying. The first cutback was quite minimal. I was just trying to stop that inverse taper, which you might be able to see. What I've discovered is that Seiju Elm likes to push a lot of buds from one place. It's really compact growth, but because of that you can get bulging, essentially. So yeah, I'm just trying to correct that and just start this tree off in the right direction. So obviously cutting all these shoots back. As I said in the previous video, and the reason why I didn't post for 3 months, I kind of just let all my trees grow out as much as they could for summer. Didn't want to play about with them too much, which I think has got me pretty good results. I've definitely kept more trees alive, let's put it that way. But yeah, the time has come to trim some of these back and hopefully get a second push in the autumn. The weather's kind of taking a turn now. Hit 5 degrees at night the other night. But it's still like 1920s in the daytime. And that's air temperature, so in the sun it could be even warmer. Bit of a weird one. I've had to start bringing in some tropicals. And yeah, that's where we're at with this one. What I'm going to do now with this, just quickly, is obviously take out that there's a bit of a lump at the back of where it was bulging, so I'm just going to get my bigger cutters and take that section out, get the big cut over with. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, the temperatures are a bit crazy. After the summer we've had as well, we're still getting, you know, quite high temperatures in the daytime, but then it's going really low at night, so I've had to bring tropicals in, you know, 5 degrees. Not many tropicals will like that or survive it. But I could probably put them back out again next week for a couple of weeks, so I'm not sure what I want to do there. I kind of find that, especially with stuff like ficus, like once you bring them indoors, they can sometimes drop leaves and then, you know, they start to regrow them again. If I bring them in, they drop leaves and put them back outside, it's just taking energy away from the tree that I don't really want to do. So I don't know, I'm undecided with that. But yeah, very basic work on this little Seiju for now. Obviously it's going to be a mame one day. You know, the tree won't be much bigger than what you see it now. I'm just hoping to fill out more branches. Probably be some kind of broom style. And then I hope some of the cuttings actually strike, and then I can make different, you know, varieties and shapes out of them. With any luck. It's actually quite a fast growing species. It just doesn't thicken up that much. It would take like a lot of growth to actually get a trunk going on this, so we will see. And then moving on to my regular Chinese elm, or one of them. Yeah, this I've just absolutely left to grow out. There were some branches, as you can see on the base here, that I've let grow to try and thicken the trunk even more. This is actually grown in a bit of shade as well, which I didn't realise until about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. It was getting shaded out by the other Chinese elm because of how much they've grown. This also really badly needs a repot. It is completely pot bound. Yeah, so this one's been grown in a cocoa coir kind of mix. It's how it comes from B&Q for the past 2 years now. And cocoa coir, I find it quite a good growing media to use for growing out trees. Obviously it's not very good for reducing, which is why this keeps on pushing and the leaf size isn't really shrinking at all compared to my other Chinese elm. But it is good for growing out, but the issue I find with it is that it starts drying up, and once it dries up too much, it's very hard to then get water back into the system. It kind of becomes aquaphobic. So this one I'm actually now having to, like, once a week water it bottom up, essentially. which is not really what I want to be doing with my trees, especially outdoor ones. So this will be getting a repot in spring into some decent bonsai soil and a different pot. And I think it's about that time anyway. I'm quite happy with where the branches are. Obviously there's always more work to be done, but the main branches are kind of where I wanted them to be, and the trunk size isn't bad for the kind of size of the tree, so be looking into that. I'm just going through here, just cutting back to two or three leaves. Obviously getting rid of any branches that are going to be structurally insignificant. Don't know if that's the right word. But yeah, any branches that are essentially crossing or going to make problems in the future, you know, them place where you get 3 branches out of one place, they need to be cut back to 2, you know, all the basics of bonsai, which you can hear about from many of my other videos if you really want to. So all of these Chinese elm videos were shot on the same day. Obviously I'll split them up because I didn't want to make a 40-minute video. I kind of made them into like, I think the first one was 8 minutes, it's 10, the next one will probably be about 10. And that's just to make it kind of easier to watch if you want to watch the whole thing. You know, not many people do. I think most people switch off after 2 or 3 minutes anyway, but I'm sure some people stick around. So yeah, following this will be my, I'd call it my main Chinese elm. It's the one I've had the longest, the first one I ever had. Which has been on the channel many times, and I'm planning to do a look back on that one, kind of like go back through the years of having it. Because I believe I've had that one for about 5 years now. So, you know, it's getting to the point where, not that it'd be good enough for any shows or anything, but, you know, with deciduous kind of trees, although they're partly deciduous, deciduous trees usually take about 5 or 6 years of training to be in a kind of good shape from when you started making the tree. I mean, professionals can obviously do it in a shorter time and make a way better tree, but I'm quite happy with how it's looking. All I'm doing really with the other one is refining. That's literally it now, just refining the branches. You know, this one is kind of still developing. I am at the point where I'm trying to reduce and trying to refine a bit, but there is still like a bit of an apex issue on this one, and I think some of the branch length needs a bit of work. I might have to let a few branches grow out a bit more than what I have been. I mean, I've said it before, but there will be quite a few videos coming. I'm kind of back into the full swing of bonsai now. I'm looking to keep on pushing the channel. At this point I'm at 488 subscribers. Trying to push past the 500 point. Just keep on growing the channel. You know, it isn't really the main objective. The main objective is just to film and record my trees kind of thing over the years, and even if the channel gets nowhere, at least I can look back in 10 years and be like, oh yeah, I remember that tree and this is how it used to look, and you know, it's kind of like a vlog, I suppose. And here's a look at the tree at the end of that pruning session. As you can see, the apex has still got a bit of issues. It does need some wire still in places. But really interesting shapes, this tree. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.